Hey Nathan, what's up, man? Got the stream live. We'll be getting started here in about 5 minutes or so. Just making sure I got everything set up correctly. Just gotta double check my YouTube stream, make sure it's going. Hey Gil. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube as well now. Have a kitty. Lucky bastard. Okay, after last night's stream, let's just do a quick overview here. Flowerchild. I believe he's supposed to be joining us. Thank you for pointing that out. After last night's stream, we have all of Tech 3 unlocked, and we have 23 science left. Hey, Z Nightmare. What's up, man? I installed another mod. I can show you guys that real quick, because I'm in love with it. We'll just launch this real quick to show it. What's up, Jarhead? Hey, Bacon. Hey, XP. It's called Alternate Display Panel, I believe. And it's freaking nice. The biggest thing it lets me do is launch, or is activate stages in map mode. And I'm in love with that. It shows the current stage fuel and the total fuel, I believe. I believe that's how it works. Wait, apparently it's not how it works. I'm not really certain what it's doing. Aloysius, what's up? Yeah, I'm in love with this little thing. It's so nice. Hey, Assassin Killer. Hey, Walrus. Okay. So the last thing we unlocked, I believe, was the rocketry one. The advanced rocketry, which gave us these nice little liquid fuel engines. So, polar orbit would be really nice, actually. If we could pull off a polar orbit, I would be the happiest of men. Obliteration. What's up, man? Hey, Falcon. This is excessive, what I'm doing now. I'm still gonna do it. There we go. I just need the gravioli on this, actually. Before I forget to put that in an action group. Splinty, what's going on? Oh, hey, Gates. Twitch banned your account. Ouch. Come on. Stop getting all wonky tonks. I hated watching this on YouTube because of the 15-20 second lag. Well, that is now going to be on Twitch as well. That's just kind of a thing now. YouTube or Twitch is going to have a delay. I've heard rumors that my Twitch delay is less. Hey, Evan. What's up, no peeking? No peeking. Wow, that took me way too long to like catch on to what that said. Oh wait, I don't want to try. I want 4. That looks good. Whoa. What happened to my other antenna? I wonder how much. Let's see how much electric charge this has. Yeah, he told me last night. I happened to be awake. And he sent me a message. He was super excited. 1610 electric charge. Okay, that should do it. Let's go ahead and put some stabilizers on this. Hey, Destin. I don't get speedrunning. I enjoy it to an extent. I'm going to start speedrunning some older games. Like, I'm considering speedrunning Adventure Island 2. Noir and I have been talking about that. Okay, that should do it. Nothing's clipping, is it? Is that clipping through? Let's move it just to be sure. Okay, that looks good. Hey, Will. Oh, thanks, no peeking. Am I streaming to Twitch too? Yes, I am. Okay. We're looking good. Falcon, the delay on Twitch is going to be about as bad. Hey, Deadly. What's up, man? Oh. I just screwed that one up completely. I'm going to relaunch. Oh yeah, I just didn't see your message, man. That was me as the delay, not YouTube as the delay. I didn't update Flowerchild. I was smart about it. No updates here. You have no delay at all. No, you have a delay. Oh, is it a mod? Yeah, yeah. Someone sent me a mod that lets me do staging in map mode. It's freaking gorgeous, man. It's just an alternative display to the resource tab, but it lets you stage in map mode, and it makes me so incredibly happy. Actually, I want that on. Hey, D. Hey, Eric. Sure, man. Just realized I'm holding the wrong button. I always get myself, like, all wonky tonks when I'm, yeah. Kerbal Space Program with the Better Than Starting Manned mod. Over-adjusted a little. Oh, I am going way too slow. Holy crap, I just saw my speed. No problem, man. Hey, Minnie, what's up? I just saw my speed and it's real bad. It is really fun. It's a really enjoyable game. So if we're drinking, I need to grab some beers. I'm not drinking. The thing on the right, yeah, it's a separate mod. It's the one I was playing with earlier when we were talking. I've been doing well, Minnie. Real well. No, it's a private. You can link it. I'll have to double check that, B. I'll find it for you in a moment. Oh crap, I totally forgot to actually start turning. That was smart. Ah, being able to stage in space is so good. Alternative resource mod, that's it. Thank you, by the way, for the link. Okay. Does it not show my mana propellant? No, I don't think it does. Alternative resource panel. Gotcha. Can you go to the mod? Yes, you can. In this save, I cannot yet do it. But yes, you definitely can. Oh, crap. Let's try that again. I'm gonna reload real quick. Oop. Okay, the spin's getting a little ridiculous. I don't dislike Star Wars, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I used to like Star Wars a lot more than I do. Should I get this game? Oh, crap, I just overheated my rocket. Because I am bad at things.
Spaceballs. Hey, hon.
What's up?
I don't know how to add a Twitch command, but I, wrote the thing up, so if you want to make a Twitch command or whatever, you can.
Yeah, I can show you that later, too.
Here's
if you want.
I put the game in the mods right below.
Cool.
In your team speak. I'm gonna post it once in your, thing.
Awesome.
And I'm going.
Yeah, I'll pull up my Nightbot panel in a bit. Love you. Thank you. We're just getting into orbit, guys. Oop. Should probably do it correctly. Oh, I might not be able to get into orbit because yeah, that exploding engine kind of boned me. We're going to go ahead and try this again, but not let the engine explode this time. I also spent way too much time finding the right point to burn to. Oh, other side, other side. That's a really bad point to save. It does not give me much time to do what I need to do. I'm burning the wrong way. How cool is space? Like, for serious, space is great. I love it. I just realized I'm burning completely the wrong way. It's a thing I do sometimes, so... The final frontier. Okay, there we go. That should work a lot better. Just make sure we don't overheat. Hey, man. How's it going? Sorry, I have no idea how to even start pronouncing your name. I'm so energetic and just love everything. I'm gonna wait till I'm a little closer. Yep. Yeah, Flowerchild taught me a lot in our stream yesterday. Dang. Forgot I can lock that up. Oh, it's such a pain to click on it. What am I doing wrong? Oops. Cool. Much better. Hey, Kiko. Yeah, we're going for polar orbit. With tons of heavy-ass batteries on it. Actually, not many. I think I only put 4 of the large batteries. Okay, we're not burning, like, in the most efficient manner, but, you know, we'll make it work. I think we have enough fuel to make this happen. Had leftover pizza. Nice. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Okay. So if I'm remembering correctly, to raise the purpleopagus, is it burning retro? Oh, wait, prograde when at the opolopagus?
Yes.
Excellent.
I think so. If I'm interpreting your terminology correctly.
Just go with the first letter and jump to the closest thing you can.
Yeah, the basics is always to raise your orbit at any point. You burn prograde
on the opposite point.
On the opposite side, exactly. That's the basics of it.
Okay, so
and
now to circularize.
Prograde is just your direction of travel, right? So all you're doing is you're going faster on the opposite side, right?
Hey, break. By the way, guys, I will never pronounce those words right, so just get over it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it myself. Like I was saying, it's something I've always read and typed, not something that I've been speaking out loud. Not working at NASA or anything.
And circularize my orbit. Oops. And yeah, close enough for me. Cool. Polar-ish orbit. A little tilted, but
what do you got? Yeah, not close to circular. What are you doing this mission actually?
Just trying to get the ice caps.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I was just trying to get a vaguely polar orbit going.
Ah, there you go. See, burning retrograde at the periapsis to lower the apoapsis, and everything's happy.
Yep. Hey, Shady.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah. I'm in love with this alternative control or alternative resource panel.
Actually, it's fun. Oh, sorry.
Just the fact that I can stage in the map mode is like my biggest complaint. So
yeah, that looks really cool. Actually, I was convinced when I first popped onto the stream. I was convinced that you had updated or something, and that was a new control panel from 0.23.
I almost did. I had auto update on, and I saw their tweet go out, and I was like, crap. I barely managed to get auto update off before it started.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, I posted some instructions on the forums as to how to avoid that, but I really regretted not saying something to you last night. I actually didn't expect them to put it out this early because usually their updates are later in the day. But like I mentioned a while ago, I think they've been sitting on this update while KerbалCon was going on, so it's been ready a while already.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So I guess they were just able to hit a button and ship it.
Oh yeah, I already got Tundra because of whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, and comically, while we were talking about the little bit of tundra next to the Kerbal Space Center last night, I just checked over the changelog for 0.23, and they talk about cleaning up the biome map, so I suspect that's gone.
Snuck it in before they could take it from me.
Yeah.
I'm not over the North Pole. Let's see if I can get polar on the other side. The poles are just... Polar is just one biome, right? There isn't a north and south.
It's not a north and south.
Okay,
No.
cool.
And those big beige spots are deserts.
Can you use parachutes on deserts?
I think so. Yeah, I do think they have an atmosphere.
Excellent. There's the ice cap. Cool.
Whoa, that's like a huge mountain you're flying over. I'm not sure I recognize that one.
This is probably one of my cleaner orbits. I like it. Tilted a little to the side, but yeah, I'm okay with that. I gotta just double check my science and see what I haven't gotten yet, biome-wise. So I feel like I'm missing something, I'm just not sure what it is.
I'm trying to figure out what the separate green and blue bars are on your HUD.
I haven't figured that out either. I thought it was... It might be, like, that stage and total?
Maybe, yeah. That'd be cool. You're probably right.
I'll have to check on my next launch.
Yeah, because you don't have the stage checkbox there anymore. So,
Right,
yeah, you're
right.
probably right.
Oh, wait, that's not where I want to go. I want to go here. Check my... Apparently I'm blind. Gravity scan. I was looking for ravioli.
I need some music here again.
Oh, I need to get the rest of the desert. I'm missing a bit of the desert. Highlands, grasslands, ice caps, mountains, shore, tundra, and water. So it's basically just the rest of the desert and badlands, right? And of course, I quit game again. Take it easy, Eric.
You got the desert last night, didn't you?
I got most of it. I ran out of battery, like, right at the end of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think in 0.23 you won't need this mod either. They have their own integrated version of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's some nice changes, actually. I was looking over the bug fixes in particular, and it should take care of a lot of the loose ends in BTSM.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, like that. I'm hopeful that that weird docking bug that people were going on a lot about, with ships just like randomly flying apart on docking, may have been taken care of, which would be really nice.
Yeah, that sounds like one of the most soul-crushing things I can imagine.
Oh, it is, man. It is, especially if you're playing legit and you're not quick saving all the time, and you go through a whole mission, you know, go through the docking procedure, pull it off, and suddenly your ship flies apart. Yeah, it's really soul-crushing.
Okay, I just gotta get the desert on this side.
And even worse, it's really not obvious as to why it was happening. Like, we eventually figured it out. But man, I don't know. I must have went through like 20 docking attempts trying various combinations until I finally figured out what was causing it. So it's not at all obvious.
Those are the worst kinds.
For the player, that is. Yeah.
Then there's so many variables, and you just... It happens to me where I'm just like, oh, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, and then I turned out I wasn't.
Yeah.
There we go. There's the rest of the desert science transmitting now. And I have enough fuel to try... Well, maybe. I only have 32 fuel.
Oh, to try a re-entry?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that should be enough.
Okay.
You really don't have to do much.
Just, like, go to Apolopagus and burn prograde? Or retrograde?
Well, okay, since your orbit is roughly circular, and it's one of the nice things about a circular orbit, you could burn practically anywhere on that orbit, and it will become your apoapsis.
Okay.
Right? Because the thing is, it basically means that all points are equal around the circle, right?
Gotcha.
So, you know, it'll just... The apoapsis will shift to wherever you are, because if you're burning retrograde, you're going to end up at the highest point.
Okay,
right?
So let's go ahead and do some retrograde burning.
So, like, for stuff like traveling to the moon, the Mun and stuff, that's why you want to circularize your orbit first.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And plus, too, like, if you don't, your resulting orbit tends to get wonky-tonks, as you put it, so it helps for other reasons, but that's the basic idea.
Oh yeah, I did not take much there.
So what you want to do, and probably just like start burning gradually to begin with, but what you want to do is bring down your periapsis to around 30 kilometers. So like if you click on your periapsis so you can see the readout there.
I still have so much trouble with that, like it just continuously, it's like, add maneuver node. I'm like, no. Just pop up.
So you saw the way your apoapsis just kind of shifted over to your position?
Right.
You're probably going past it. Hold on. Yeah, there you go.
I'm at right around 30.
Now, if you click on that sucker, it'll just hang there, so you won't have to hover your mouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Badlands is a biome gates. I'm not even going to bother with it, Timber. It's such a pain. Okay. Yeah, I've got it around 30.
Yeah, and that's basically it. You're going to want to, like, once you have a heat shield, you're going to want to turn it into your direction of travel.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit around 70 kilometers, which is where the atmosphere starts.
Okay.
But right now you're on a re-entry trajectory.
When you can. To make it lighter.
Well, you're not going to survive this.
Right.
I just kind of wanted to demonstrate the procedure so you can make use of it later. Now, the speed... So that altitude where you set that, the 30 kilometers, that basically determines the angle at which you're entering the atmosphere. Because a nice shallow angle will have you in the thinner portions of the atmosphere for longer.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean there?
Right. Makes sense.
Right. So, like I was saying last night, the whole re-entry thing is basically an aerobraking maneuver. You're using the atmosphere itself to slow you down, right? So, the longer you stay in the upper atmosphere, which is what that angle determines, the more you'll slow down before you start descending into the thicker, lower parts of the atmosphere, right?
Gotcha.
Which is where things become really dangerous if you're moving at a high speed. Because, like, right now, you're moving at 2,000 meters per second, right? So you're moving at an ungodly speed. And if you just plunge straight into the atmosphere like that, you're gonna burn. You're gonna burn up. So yeah, that first bit, the 30 kilometers, basically determines your angle of re-entry. And the other part you got to worry about is how high up your apoapsis is on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Because what that'll determine is the speed at which you're re-entering. Right.
Okay.
Because the higher your orbit is, the faster you're going around.
Right.
So for something like the Mun, if you're returning straight from the Mun, then your apoapsis is all the way out where the Mun is, right? So you're going to be re-entering at ungodly speeds when you get back to Kerbin, unless you bring that periapsis in, or the other way to survive is 1 or 2 tech levels above where you are. There's a heat shield specifically designed to be able to survive that kind of re-entry.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the heat shield that you have available to you right now is only capable of surviving re-entry from low Kerbin orbit.
Gotcha.
Right. So you basically have to be at a low orbit, come into 30K, and then go through this whole thing.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
But unfortunately, because... and that's the other problem that 0.23 fixes that I'm really happy about, is the interface freezing up after burning up on re-entry.
Oh, very nice.
So that should be corrected in the next version. But unfortunately, if you burn up now, then you're likely going to get that locked interface.
You can you jump to another... For some reason, I was thinking you could jump to another thing you have going to avoid that. Or am I wrong about that?
Yeah, you can. If you return to the tracking station first.
Okay.
Like, it's a really nasty workaround, but it does work. So yeah, if you run into that, do you have something else flying around?
I do. The one that ran out of fuel
cool.
is still... Fuel and power is still orbiting.
Actually, you may as well try to just max... Oh, no, you're out of fuel now, eh?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I just tried to slim myself down.
Yeah, because if you had a lot... Yeah, if you had a lot left, you could burn retrograde like that, slow yourself down, and possibly survive. But it takes a lot of fuel to be able to do it.
Yeah, I didn't slow me down too much.
No.
This thing's pretty much doomed.
You should start getting the flaming effects soon.
Hey! I thought the engine itself was going to survive. Crap, it locked up. Okay, restarting Kerbal. Right,
Oh, you went back to the main menu?
I went to the Space Center, didn't give me the tracking station option. Nope. Do not click download the update. So how you doing today, man?
Pretty good. Still kind of waking up, but I got some coffee in me, so
Me too.
I think I'm at least partially sentient.
I was up far too late last night.
Yeah, I was getting tired by the end of your stream, man.
Yeah, then I ended up staying. I think I went to bed around like 4, and then we had to get up around 10.
I've stared at the screen way too many times.
Found that if I time warp while crashing a rocket, it doesn't give me the no-click thing. Huh, I'll try that sometime, Dave. I'll say welcome. Okay. Let's take a look at our science situation. Here we go. 57 science, so I need to eke a bit more out. Which means goo. Plus that nice little bonus from re-entry. Okay, we have to design a re-entry probe then. And this I can probably use your help on, because I think I've basically gotten lucky.
Okay, you're right. With you, I was just typing a message here.
Okay, I know I can do this. When that burns off, it's going to just...
Oh, that's hysterical. I had an instance of KSP open on my desktop, and I, instead of tabbing over to your stream, I tabbed over to it, and I was like, hey, where's Icy? Okay, what's the issue?
I'm have to design something for re-entry now.
Woohoo! Oh, this is a fun one.
Yeah.
Well, you don't technically have to, and honestly, I'd say skip this part right now and do amend re-entry before worrying about this one.
Oh, do I have the...
Because this one is actually harder than the manned re-entry. I may as well explain it. What the hell? Sorry, I'm still kind of half asleep, so
I gotcha.
Don't want to do this now.
I can never see if the heat shield's in there, right? Because there's like one spot where it clips on, but it's... There we go. Cool.
Yeah, it's a little wonky. Okay, so the main thing that you're worried about here with this module, and I'm glad you got the center of gravity indicator up, is you want... okay, well, there's already a couple of mistakes going on. Don't add the decoupler, because that'll change the center of mass, which is our primary concern right now.
Right.
That's stuck right. You there? Oh.
Oh yeah, I'm just playing with it at this point to see what it's going to look like once the shield burns off.
Okay. So, get that center of mass indicator on there. So a couple of things already. First of all, your RCS thrusters.
Those are going to turn off, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing with the heat shield is you basically want everything you don't want to burn off to be in the wake of it, right? So you basically want it within the radius of that heat shield, so that it's covered by it, right?
Okay.
So the first thing that we're going to have to worry about is getting those RCS thrusters in, and this is one of the areas where the octagonal struts really come in handy.
Now, out of curiosity, is it a big deal if they burn off once it's an atmosphere, if the center of mass is well enough to keep it sticking the right way?
Well, honestly, you don't even need RCS to re-enter, just as long as you make sure that it's oriented in the correct direction.
Right, okay.
Before you hit the atmosphere, right? So you can definitely stage it for that. And one thing that's helpful about doing so is that RCS tank, as you burn fuel in it, it's going to get lighter.
Oh.
Which means that your center of mass is going to start shifting upwards.
Right.
Now, the other thing that happens is also that heat shield, while it's extremely heavy right now, as it starts to burn off, it's also going to start losing mass.
I've been taking that off to check center of mass, but I completely forgot about the RCS fuel itself.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that your center of mass will slowly start to shift around as you're maneuvering. Now, there's a couple of ways we can get around that, mind you.
Okay.
First of all, the RCS tank that you have here, you can put another one on a lower stage, right? And make sure that before you detach, you completely fill this RCS tank up again.
You're gonna have to teach me how to do that, because that
Yeah, totally. It's a good lesson. Yeah, it's a good lesson.
Let's just put one underneath the decoupler.
Now, the real handy, actually, yeah, those aux struts you probably want to place up top, because they're extremely light, and they're really handy for designing re-entry stages for that reason. Because you could plop a few up top, and it'll hardly shift your center of mass at all.
Okay.
It'll elongate your vehicle, and then you can stick light parts like the RCS thrusters to that.
Okay. Gotcha. 'Cause yeah, those are one I think we've talked about. I have no idea how to use these things at all.
Yeah, that was the main reason I put them at that point in the tech tree, was specifically to design these re-entry vehicles. Makes things much easier that way. But you don't have any goo containers on there, which I suspect is the whole reason you want to re-enter to begin with.
Oh,
right?
those are batteries. I always do that. I always do that. I put the, I mix up the goo and the batteries. You dying on me?
No, I'm still here.
Good to hear.
Just a smoker morning.
Yup, I know that one. Okay. Okay, yeah, I feel like that's gonna flip.
Now you're trying to get low orbit and high orbit?
Yeah. If I can do it at once, I'd like to.
That should work. What do we got? You're still missing batteries, right?
Do I need them on this stage if I turn off the probe itself during the launch? And just turn it back in on
There's
re-entry?
very little energy in that probe itself, so yeah, I'd say. Or you're not going to be able to pop your parachute if you run out of power.
I probably need to put a parachute on it.
Parachutes are good.
Okay, so let's get some more batteries on here. Or a battery at least.
Actually, check the weight of the RCS tank when it's full. You do that in the part list.
We're looking
It's under control.
total mass, right? 0.55.
Okay, now the goo containers, I believe, are 0.3 a piece.
Yes.
Okay, so alone those goo containers actually weigh more than your full RCS tank. So what I'd actually recommend doing is putting an aux strut down at the bottom of the RCS tank.
Okay. And putting the goo containers on that.
No. Even better, you can use the probe core, because the probe core is heavier than an aux strut. You can put the probe core beneath the RCS tank, attach the goo containers to the probe core, and the total mass of that will be greater than your full RCS tank.
Oh, okay.
And the batteries too, which will make it even heavier.
Right. Okay, cool.
Because what you basically want is a weighted bottom, right?
Right.
So you want all the heavy stuff down there.
I think I was way too stuck in the probe core on top mentality. Way down that
And don't
bottom.
be afraid to use a couple of the heavier batteries, because you actually want weight down there.
Right. Let me see how that changes stuff. Okay, cool, they fit. Oh yeah, that looks nice.
Now, in this case, you'll actually want to burn off as much RCS fuel as possible, because now
So I should probably get rid of this other tank. Cool.
Now the tank is actually going to be what's making you heavy. Oh, or top heavy as opposed to bottom heavy, right?
Right. That is definitely not how I intended to place this vehicle. Guys, every part of me wants to launch this thing. Hey, Royal Drop.
I actually really like the look of these re-entry probes.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, it presents a different kind of design challenge, which... Whoa, what happened there?
I set it in symmetry mode. There was that moment where I was like, I want to launch this so badly.
I know. I kind of do too.
I don't know if you've ever seen any of my original videos before career mode. I had a few things that just were basically wheels and like giant spinners on the ground. No lift, they just spun.
Wait a second, just to make absolutely certain, the 0.5 mass that you quoted on the RCS tank,
total mass.
That was
dry.
Full? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Dry mass is 0.15.
Just wanted to verify.
What is this? Let's go ahead and fix my staging here. There we go. Good. Okay, let's give it a shot. Hey, Miss Ugly. Sorry, I didn't see you there. And hey, Andy. I've never run out of core power between 70k and the ground.
Yeah, and I'll try to explain the whole transferring of resources around your vessel.
Okay.
So don't separate that last stage until we go over that, because it's extremely useful and you're going to need it for some later missions.
Sounds good. Can I launch it after the mission? Sure, we'll launch it after this mission. Just see what happens. Because science.
Oh my god, you designed a 3-stage rocket.
Yeah. And it makes sense. The sub-assemblies are super useful.
Actually, I think this qualifies as a 4-stage, but I'm just happy about the 3 engine stages.
You can slap an engine on the top.
Just for kicks, yeah.
It does not have the prettiest launch. I'm just gonna toss that out there.
Yeah, don't worry so much about the heat, man. Especially when you, like, what I generally tend to do when I first launch is I just max throttle and wait until the heat meter starts getting into the danger zone before I reduce just a bit.
Into the danger zone, you say?
Yeah.
It gets there pretty quick. It must be driving on some kind of highway or something.
I didn't intend this as a Top Gun reference.
Well,
I suppose we could just roll with it.
That's what happened.
I guess.
Didn't it?
I do believe that expression existed before Top Gun.
I refuse to believe that. Okay, so take it easy, miss. Nope, crap, nope. Things are going bad.
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
Whatever, we'll just start turning now. Why not? We'll just call it a planned maneuver and roll with it.
Ah, it's all good, man. I'm sure you have more than enough fuel on this thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit overkill.
Like, once you get the basics down, it becomes a lot more forgiving. You know? And that's when you can really start kind of playing around with trial and error. And develop your own style for how you launch and how you fly.
Most likely dangerously. Okay.
Well, it's basically that the the more efficient kind of your overall flight path is, the more room for error you then have. You know, so you can get away with a few mistakes during a mission and still recover from it.
Yeah, Falcon, after this launch, I'll turn it down a little. And I think I'm just going to spin to burn off some RCS here. We get it, you read XKCD.
Now, you actually wanted to hit high orbit with this, right?
Oh, yeah, I completely
So keep on burning, man.
I forgot that that was part of the goal. Oop.
Well, you could just keep thrusting now, right?
Oh, I'm thrusting. Don't worry.
Okay. Sorry, still a video lag.
Yup.
It was funny, actually. You increased your thrust just as I said. Mid-sentence.
I regret my actions. I regret all the spinning I did.
You're all good.
It is becoming very hard to stop the spin. I'm just kind of thrusting wildly across space.
Well, you know
Holy crap, if I ever write an autobiography, that's going to be the title.
You know how to use the roll controls, right, to stop that?
Yes.
Okay.
I know how. Intellectually, yes. Not very good at it, but yeah, we're getting there. On a positive note, I'm burning off a lot of RCS.
Do you just not have enough control right now?
It is pretty tough to control.
Yeah, you probably needed a second set of RCS thrusters down on the bottom of that stage.
Now that I'm on the third stage, it's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's up to 250. So now I should just drift closer to the Apple, I guess. Fuck it. I'm not even doing it. So on the, like, I can't remember what kind of engine this is. The LV 420.
Yeah.
How close would you recommend before starting to?
Well, you have a low mass vehicle there, but obviously less thrust than the LV-15.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. Like, I'd say maybe start a burn a minute out.
Okay.
See how it's going, you know, and reduce throttle if it's too early, which it probably will be, but it's on the safe side.
Yep, sounds good. I think that's about what I did on the one before.
Like, you could totally go, like, you know, paper, pencil, and a slide rule to compute all this stuff. Personally, I tend to go more on feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another reason why I tend not to ever give precise numbers. You know, it's
Right,
just
right.
well, around here, you know. Did you already take your low orbit?
Yes, yeah, I did. And here in a moment, I gotta take my high orbit. Okay, there we go. Ooh. I'm not sure if this is actually going to get full orbit.
What's your concern, that you run out of fuel?
Yeah. That is my main concern.
Well, if you manage to...
No.
If you manage to raise the periapsis to around 30k, don't let it go beyond that, because you're not going to have the energy to burn it off again. And this might be a little high for re-entry, but we'll give it a try.
Yup. Okay. If I can land in that lake. That's not a lake. That's not a lake at all. Okay, this is gonna be a tricky one.
It might be a good time to explain how to use RCS thrusters to help with this then.
H, right? To push forward?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I got it up to 20. 20... Oh, actually, the RCS is doing a lot more than I'd expected.
Well, you have a very light probe right now, so...
Right. So I can just push it to 30 with RCS.
You might be able to.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
forget to save a little fuel to... There you go. How much RCS fuel do you have left?
71.5.
Where is that in your HUD? Can you point
It's
to
the
it?
second one down, right below the battery.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that one took me a while.
Because, okay, what I'm thinking is to actually push out your periapsis just over 70k with that. So then you could raise your apoapsis as you come around. Because right now that apoapsis is going to have you coming in way faster than you need to.
Gotcha.
So you might be able to bleed a bit more of that off before you actually go for a re-entry.
Let's see if I can get it up to... I should be able to get 70. I'm at 40 right now. Gormador, how's it going?
Just don't forget to save some RCS fuel so that you can reorient yourself
Right.
when you start coming down. All getting a little tricky.
Yup. This is not what I
But this
signed
is
up for.
Yeah, but this is kind of the fun stuff, you know, when you're having to almost use all these emergency measures
Yeah.
to bring yourself
so
home.
much science in this probe if I can bring it home.
Yep.
This would be science I never got in my main save. And there we go. 70. Cool. So then go to the Parapus and then burn retrograde, right?
Exactly. Which you wouldn't even, like, you can thrust both forward and backwards with RCS,
to just
right?
burn... What's the backwards one button?
It's H and N
N. Okay, cool.
for forward and back.
There we go. Oh, wrong probe.
Now, there were more efficient ways of doing all this, but I'm trying to... I'm kind of trying to step you through the basics here.
Gotcha. I'm learning a lot from it, so...
Cool. Because, yeah, you could have used the atmosphere to slow you down and bring in your apoapsis and all kinds of funky stuff like that, but...
Just have to leave a bit of RCS. I'm down to like 45 RCS right now.
Still should be enough.
Yeah. Where should I be aiming my apoapis? Fuck, that word.
Well, try to get it as low as possible while still leaving you enough fuel to bring in your periapsis again on the other side,
Okay.
and enough to reorient yourself when this is all over for re-entry.
I just have to be below 70, right?
On which side?
The periapsis to re-enter?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the the thing is, if you're really close to 70, it's going to take a very long time for you to slow down because you're basically going to dip into the atmosphere each time around and decelerate a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're burning the wrong way. You're
I am.
increasing your apoapsis.
I definitely am. I just noticed that number. Yep, because I went retrograde and then held in. So this is gonna be a fun
so
one.
I think it's time for Plan B.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Plan B. Stop burning and burning RCS fuel because I'm getting a little worried about
Yeah, me too.
how much you got left.
Okay, so
now
Plan
at
B.
now we're gonna start aero braking.
I just wanted to
so-
learn aero braking, guys. I knew what I was doing.
So at the apoapsis, I'd say burn retrograde to maybe bring your periapsis down to say 60 kilometers.
Okay. Let's give this a shot.
Just a rough estimate there. So basically what this is going to set you up to do is dip slightly into the atmosphere, okay, which is going to deaccelerate you at the periapsis, bringing in your apoapsis further without spending any fuel.
Okay.
And it might take you 2-3 orbits to bring it all the way in, so this will take a while, but it's safe, right? And you still have plenty of electricity, so you don't have to worry about that. The electricity kind of being the time factor in this, right?
Right, right. Okay, so burn retrograde, right?
Where are you?
At the apoapsis. To bring it into 60-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I did it right this time, so that's good.
Cool.
And let's turn off RCS. I was half expecting those probes to collide just because it's an icy playthrough.
I need to go AFK for a couple of minutes, so I'll be leaving you in this precarious position to fend for yourself.
Okay, let's see what we can do. I'm just gonna time warp. Okay. So we're just kind of waiting here, guys. It's good. Death and mayhem up ahead. Excellent. So glad you guys believe in me. I'm half expecting him to collide Kerbin in the Mun. I'm just going to build like a rocket so huge and upside down it just pushes Kerbin into a new orbit. That works, right? Is that a thing they can do? I feel like it should be a thing they can do. And this brought me down to what? 3 or 4. Okay, cool. I can't go past 4 because I'm too low. Hey, an architect? Okay. Next pass. Where's Gil? Oh, take it easy, Minnie. Thanks for coming by. Just so you guys know, I'm hoping to do a Cook Serve Delicious stream tomorrow. Icy doesn't need cubic struts to break the planet. Oh, you guys believe in me. 230k to go. Exactly. Fuck salesman. Fuck it, here's your pizza. Fuck it, here's your pizza. Ah, that game. Cooks.
Alright, I'm back. You still alive?
Yep.
Excellent.
Making my second pass.
Does this all make sense so far?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool.
Around what time will it begin? I'm not sure. I'm going to keep an eye on my Twitter. I have to check tomorrow's schedule. It's probably going to be an evening one. You might be in bed, sadly. I have some stuff I have to do in the afternoon.
Keiko, the current objective is re-entering a couple of goo containers. For science.
I made it much harder than it needed to be.
Yeah. So that they can be dissected by our Kerbal scientists.
Good guys, them. You better play Wraith Knight by yourself, Brett. You're not allowed to have friends. Where's a sonic screwdriver when you need one? Maybe morning for me. I mean, are you 5 hours difference, if I remember correctly? Okay, so what we do there? 296! I deserve this painful re-entry for my mistakes. The new update removed the science spam? Yeah, it's 5 p.m. for me. Okay, cool.
Now this is still 0.22, but it's with the mod BTSM, which got rid of the sign spam already.
Oh yeah, that was a huge pain in the ass when I was playing vanilla.
Yeah, they've removed it. They've removed it from vanilla now too, though.
Awesome.
Which is what I think the chat comment was referring to.
Gotcha. Hey, his wife hang.
Now, really, you want your heat shield to be facing into the direction of travel at your periapsis.
Okay.
So maybe if you can do that now to make sure that you're pointing in the right direction each time you come around, because you're going to start dipping lower and lower into the atmosphere, and this may start getting dangerous.
Okay. And that would be basically just pointing at retrograde, right?
I don't know. Actually, look at your thingamabob, your actual rocket view.
My thingamabob.
Still waking
Good.
up.
Good. Yeah, I still have the engine attached. I have batteries on there that I don't want to ditch yet.
Gotcha.
Let me see if I need... Okay, so how would I transfer electric to the upper batteries?
Oh, okay. Sure.
Might as well do that.
Yeah, so go into your rocket view.
Okay.
Sorry, video lag again. Right click on either the part you want to transfer to or from.
Okay.
And alt right click on the other one.
Okay, cool. So then in... Oh, very nice. That's super easy.
Yeah, it's just knowing the hotkey, basically.
Oh, that's really nice. I expected that to be a pain in the ass for some reason.
You could do that with practically any resource.
Oh, very nice. Is that what the crossfeed compatible thing is? With fuel?
No, the crossfeed thing determines fuel flow between stages and stuff like that.
Ah, gotcha.
Pretty much every part in vanilla has it, so don't even worry about it.
Gotcha.
So pretty.
It really is.
I don't think I've ever snapped more screenshots than in this game.
Okay. Be my third pass. Ships docked together can transfer fuel too. Gotcha.
And your caps lock still isn't working, right?
Nope.
Because that would be super helpful, right?
Yeah,
now.
I might have to check with the company and see if I can get that replaced. It's interesting. I haven't pressed that button since I bought the keyboard. Okay, so my butt's put in the wrong direction.
You're just spinning out of control, man.
Yeah, I am. Everything is very touchy. Oops, wrong button.
I wonder if there's any alternate method to trigger that caps lock thing. Dave, it brings in precision control, which is extremely helpful with the keyboard. You don't have to have a gamepad connected or something, do you, Isaac?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I have one, but I think I'd have to connect it before I launch it.
Because that would be the other way to get... Oh, you're doing pretty good. And actually, if you time warp now it'll stabilize that out, which is kind of exploity, but considering you don't have the precision control, it might be a good idea.
Okay, so we're down to...
You're just out of control.
Yep. I decided to, while I was out of the atmosphere, give up on trying to control it. Save my RCS. Yeah. The little I have left. Okay.
Have you unlocked SAS yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I believe the first of that's in the 4th tier. I'm trying to get back down to Kerbin.
And man, I'm really glad you switched the RCS tank up top, because it's going to be practically empty when you come down.
Yup.
It's going to be very light.
Okay, that...
Just little taps.
Oh, I'm still time warping. No, I have RCS off, okay. It's like, why did I not have control? This is the one time having a mechanical keyboard is making this incredibly hard. It's hard to get those little taps there.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have a chance, definitely look into that caps lock thing.
See if I can find something else.
That's making it much harder than it needs to be.
What does the light above the roll indicator show with its different colors? What?
Actually, when you get close and are moving relatively slow, you could probably leave it alone, because the atmosphere should start serving to kind of stabilize you there.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if you're low enough yet for that. No, you don't appear to be.
No. Even with time warp on, I'm actually spinning, which is interesting. $60K isn't a very good height for air braking. Thanks for the advice. Don't have too much of a choice in this situation due to mistakes. Let's just call it that. Hold down shift. That's throttle. Why don't SA?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's holding now. And next pass. We're down to 270. Let's just do some time warping. The ones where I just blew up rockets. Good times.
Well, it's an important lesson.
Okay. Fly around again. How long is this thing been in flight? Oh,
Maybe the next time you hit your periapsis, use a little bit of that fuel to... Or actually, the next time you hit your apoapsis, use a little of that fuel to bring in your periapsis a bit lower.
So burn retrograde.
Yeah. Just make sure to keep a little. Because you're spending so much fuel orienting yourself each time you go around that I think it would be more efficient to speed this up so you don't do so.
Right, so what would you recommend bringing it into?
Maybe 50. Well, just check your fuel. Your RCS fuel, like I'd say at least leave 5 maybe in the tank or something. Maybe 7.
Yeah, I'm at 10 at the moment. I'm gonna leave 7 to have a bit more of a margin of error.
Yeah. So by doing this, you're dipping lower into the atmosphere, which is denser, which will slow you down more on each pass.
Sounds good.
So it'll bring in your apoapsis faster.
Okay, and I'll be right back, guys. Apologize.
Hello? Hello?
And I'm back. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. Okay. So let's see how this goes. Guys, I'm scared. Oop, oop, out of control. Too much, too much. Using far too much RCS, it scares me. There we go, much better. That's creepy as hell. They'll never do that again. What? What did I miss? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that was a little creepy. Does anyone smell fire? Gates, I'm trying to figure out where you are in the video. Life is good. I smell meat and beer. Yeah, I probably should have waited till I was lower. Okay, so that just went out of control. Okay, there we go.
And back again.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Welcome back to you, too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just had a phone call come in. Okay. Things are going all right.
I think it may be time to ditch that bottom stage soon.
Yeah. Soon. I only have 2 batteries on the top stage, which worries me a little.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think you're... Yeah. Can you check the map view again? And where your apoapsis is at?
Wrong way. Yeah. It's down to 178.
Okay.
And
I'm
dropping.
wondering if you're going to be coming back out of the atmosphere again.
We will soon see.
Yeah, you're heading in the wrong direction here. You've got your nose pointed into the direction of travel right now.
Yep. Luckily, I'm coming up out of the atmosphere, so I'll orient on the next pass. Parachutes make great heat sinks. Thanks for the advice. Okay, cool. So we get one more pass to reorient. I don't see myself coming out of this next pass at all, though.
I doubt it. So probably what you want to do is when you come down to around 70k on your next pass, ditch the bottom stage.
That'll make my RCS thrusters more efficient, right?
Exactly.
I'll just refill my batteries one last time soon.
I suspect though those 2 batteries will hold plenty for the descent.
Yeah, it should be good.
They're probably overkill.
Okay, let's go and do one more transfer. I'm excited now that I know how to.
Cool. Personally, I think once you start getting the basics down like this, that's when the game really starts becoming fun. Because you could see you get into situations like this and you're dealing with limited resources and trying to improvise as to how you're going to do something, which would be a lot simpler otherwise. Right?
Oh yeah, it's incredibly enjoyable.
Yeah, that's when I find the game gets super fun.
There we go. Oh wow, it takes forever to fill up a probe core for some reason.
And that's actually one thing I'm really happy with regards to BTSM is you tend to run into those emergency situations a lot more. Especially things like limited energy and all that, because in vanilla the solar panels are so incredibly powerful.
Oh yeah, they are.
That energy is basically an infinite resource, and I find that really unfortunate.
Okay, so let's go ahead and ditch this stage. And probably orient correctly instead of incorrectly. Tends to help. Wow, this thing spins.
Well, I ditched the stage before you orient.
Right,
because
yeah.
otherwise it's going to end up in your flight path. Cool. I'm not sure if you saw those posts, but I ran into that a little while ago, where I ended up colliding with my stage on re-entry, and it made for a real interesting experience that I managed to survive. But
oh, nice.
It was problematic to be sure.
I'm so low on RCS. I have 2.93.
Well, if you could just get it somewhat stabilized, like I said, the atmosphere is going to take over at a certain point and start orienting it for you.
There we go.
Yeah, be very careful with your.
Oh, this is really tense. No saving during it, so it's just whether or not I can bring these 2 goo canisters home.
Well, remember, you never really have to reorient fast unless it's an emergency, right? So you can just give it a little tap and wait for it to fall back into line.
Right. Tearn. I do believe this is probably the pass where I go. Maybe.
Because yeah, if you run out of RCS, that's where you're really going to have to let nature take its course.
Yep.
All bets are off.
2.37. This is getting like down to the wire.
Okay, so 45 and your other 159. Dropping rapidly.
Inner child. Icy has no inner child unless you consider all of him to be inner. Thanks, Gil. Thanks.
Oh. Looks like you're pretty stable there.
Yeah. Very close to. Too much. Fine-tune controls would be real nice.
Yeah. Yeah, you've definitely got hard mode on right now.
Okay.
Other option being to purchase and install SAS.
Yep. This should give me enough science to do that.
Now, what you won't want to do, though, is have SAS on the entire time you descend like this.
Right.
Because it's just going to burn RCS fuel like crazy.
I have learned that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it constantly makes subtle course corrections, and particularly on re-entry, because, like I was saying, at a certain point, the air is going to take over and start orienting you. And if you have SAS on, it's going to be fighting against that constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely learned to turn my SAS off temporarily while doing turns.
There's a lot of times when you want to have it off, actually. Well, as you become more comfortable with the game, you'll get a better feel for that.
Mm-hmm.
Still dropping.
Yep. Okay, Gates, cool. Yep, my Apple Apis is like 80 and dropping, so.
Oh yeah, you're not going to come out again?
Nope. This is it. So little RCS fuel. I did say I wanted to empty the tank before I went down, so.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Oop.
Although if you do have a little left right when you come down, you'll be able to use that to slow your descent right before touchdown, which is rather handy.
I'm going very fast.
But your speed is dropping.
Yes, which is nice.
And it's going to start dropping a lot faster.
.53 left. I get the feeling the probe is just going to barely shoot to the wind once that mono runs out. What? Oh, okay, now I'm tumbling.
Oh boy.
And I can pull out of that though. I'm good. I basically just tumbled around once and landed pretty close to where I needed to be. Okay. Time warping was a bad idea.
Oh no, please don't do that. Time warp in atmosphere is what's bad. It just totally screws up the physics system.
There we go.
Besides, who wants to skip over all this tension?
Yeah.
Oh man, the lag is crazy. I just saw your flip around now.
Wow. Ugh. Good old Twitch.
What altitude are you at right now?
41. 41.8.
Oh, okay. I'm like 42.5.
Gotcha. And I'm out of RCS.
Well,
we let nature take its course and hope for the
yeah,
best.
Exactly. Are you reorienting naturally at all?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
Yikes. Well, Gil, technically you shouldn't have any difference between the voice and video at all.
Burned off.
The problem I'm running into is I'm watching the video and chatting live with Icy.
Yeah, yeah. That scared me because all of a sudden I heard something burn off, and it was the batteries off the other, the other stage. Wait, no, yeah, it was the batteries off the other stage.
No.
Okay, if you could orient. Nope. Nope. Don't you put that parachute there. Don't turn that parachute away. Oh, there goes my parachute.
This was entirely the fault of your caps lock not working.
That and burning the wrong way for quite a while. That didn't help.
Oh, yeah, but it was salvageable at that point if you would have had precision control. It's just you burned way too much RCS.
Yep. It had a good run.
I'm sorry, I failed you, Icy.
Oh, the failure was at least 10% mine.
I'm just watching the fiery death on my screen right now.
Yep. I feel it's just wrong to not let it go ahead and do its thing. After this.
I hear that. Yeah. It's been through a lot.
What did I just lose? Oh, there goes my... No, I have no idea what just blew up. Oh. Two of my
That
RCS
goo deserves
thrusters.
its funeral pyre.
Just stuff just exploding off this thing. There's the RCS tank.
Now, you could probably redo this entire mission in about 10 minutes.
Probably, yeah. Tumble is centered on almost exactly the wrong direction. Yep. I loved you, Vessel. Okay. That is one well-protected heat shield.
The heat shield may survive re-entry.
Okay, let's try this again.
Well, it should be much less arduous to go through it this time. But you learned a lot.
Yes, I did.
No achievement gathered.
Exactly. Sorry, I'll pull away from the ship a bit. I completely forgot to change the volume down before I relaunched. What's up, B? Does heat damage to the engines affect efficiency at all? Or only when they explode?
I think damage does affect the efficiency. I'm not 100% on that. But you'll hear yourself taking damage. Like the overheat that he's got going right now isn't doing anything negative. And you only start hearing the damage sounds when that meter is very close to max. Hey guys, you're gonna make me self-conscious in the chat here. I'm very good at dealing with conflict, not so much at flattery. This launch seems to be going a lot better.
Yeah, it's decent.
Oh, you didn't put the extra RCS on the bottom of the stage, though.
I'm hoping to not have to RCS quite as much as last time.
Well, this is how mistakes began to be made last time.
That's true. That is true.
Because you kind of lost control here. I forgot about that as well.
I think the big mistake, though, was just the burning in the wrong direction for a very long time.
That never helps.
Generally not. Being able to stage in map mode is so nice. Okay.
Yeah, I find views like that really pretty, man.
Oh,
with the mun in the background there and everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's so nice.
That's what I was saying earlier about I don't think I've ever taken more screenshots than with this game because those little moments just happen. I'm like, ooh, take a picture. Hey, wonky tonks.
It's a fairly weird-ass orbit path.
It's fine, though. It really doesn't make a difference.
You know,
just roll with it.
I'm gonna start burning about a minute and a half out and see how that works.
See now, Dave, now you're just trying to fuck with me. I mentioned I don't react well to flattery.
Tall, dark, and sexy.
This is what I get. Thanks, Dave.
See if we can actually get into an orbit this time. Oh wait, we did last time, I forgot. See if we can get into orbit without fucking up this time.
Oh, by the way, since I should have asked you this last night, but what do we need to avoid saying during streams or references to? Because I know there are certain things that could get your stream shut down, but I have no idea what they are.
Basically just no singing of copyrighted materials and no just like belligerent racism and homophobia. Other than that, we're good.
I think I can avoid each of those quite easily.
I figured we could, so I didn't. I normally give people like a small speech before letting them on my stream, but I was pretty certain we'd be okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I knew the rules.
Yeah.
that I was playing by.
Nah, we're good. Kilamios. Bacon. You were such a mildly egotistical man, Bacon. I love it. Like, you're sneaky egotistical. I should probably go ahead and expose that other goo. Did I expose the first goo? Yes.
Yeah, the Miyomato would be a decent unit of measure on that. Bacon has lost its appeal, Dave? This is heresy, man.
Doesn't have enough room for seasoning. Make thicker bacon.
Although I had a friend once that made bacon vodka, and that was crossing a line.
Yeah, that's just an interesting one. I'm not even sure how I'd feel about that.
No, nobody could really drink it. It was an interesting experiment, but not much more. There's something about little bits of meat floating around in your vodka.
Yeah, that's Yeah, that's a line. I like vodka, and I'm a fan of meads, but oops, a little bit more, little too much there. There we go. And now we'll just burn retrograde to bring this down. Wait, burn retrograde at the Paralopagus. Remembering correctly, to bring down the Apolopagus.
This is... I'm really enjoying watching this, man. Very cool.
I am enjoying actually learning it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's when it becomes really fun, is once you start not just knowing the basics, but understanding them.
Right.
So you could start playing around with them and, you know, coming up with your own solutions. Because otherwise, and I think this happens to a lot of people playing KSP, is they just kind of fall into this rut, like they're going through a checklist and just like, okay, well, I'm supposed to, you know, start tilting at 10K and
Exactly.
you know, start burning now, and without any understanding of why they're doing it, you're not really playing a game at that point as much as you're just kind of on rails, you know, following a list of instructions, you know. So it brings me a lot of joy to see you becoming comfortable at this point where you're, you know, just kind of doing stuff.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah. Because man, it's the difficulty curve starts really spiking when you start heading out to the mun and that kind of thing. So if you don't have these concepts down pat, by the time you're aiming for other planets, it becomes next to impossible.
Right. Like landing on the mun seemed to be a very intense challenge.
Oh yeah, landing is hardcore
with
the
my
first time you do
knowledge.
it. Yeah, landing is hardcore the first time you do it, especially if you're using parachutes.
Okay, so I'm just bringing my...
You didn't even comment on that one.
I'm just letting it go.
Parachute.
Exactly. At this
Very
point,
zen of you, man.
At this point, I'm just like, it's gonna
The thing
happen.
is, that won't stop me.
Oh, I know.
If that's your strategy.
Absolutely not. I have no strategy here. I'm just owning up to my mistakes and just water on a duck,
Accepting
man. Water on a duck. So is that too low? I've gone down to...
That's looking good, man. Bring it down to 30 and you're all good. You're just above 70 on the other side, so
yeah, I'm down to
your
13.
angle is going to be beautiful.
I'm down to 13 on my...
may be too low.
Yeah, let's pull that back up a little. I have a little bit of fuel left, and my RCS as well. So...
Oh, you're styling, man. But you still have that caps lock problem, unfortunately.
Yup. There we go. And so doing it this way, with it down to 30, I should be entering on the first pass, most likely?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're not coming out again.
I didn't think so.
No, especially with your apoapsis at like 71. That's just above the atmosphere.
Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and refill my batteries real quick.
Which is great, which is where you want it to be, because that means you're moving about as slow as you could be on the other side. I don't know, Dave. I've never skipped off the atmosphere, so I have my doubts as to whether it's possible, but I think I've seen mention of it happening, but not entirely sure if that's with FAR installed or something. But I've never seen it myself.
If you're on Windows 7, I can fix your caps locks problem. I am on... Well, yeah, I'm on Windows 7? Yeah. How can you fix this?
Actually, if he can fix it, it'd be a good time to pause and do it, because this is going to be a bit of a coin toss as to whether you make it without that.
Yeah, we'll pause and see what he's got to go.
I'll grab a smoke while you guys go through that.
Cool. Do want to change... Abzu, I do that all the time while watching Dota. Like, that's my big one. I constantly, when I'm watching YouTube videos of Dota, click on other people to see what they have. I'm like, oh, that just paused it. Can't I just rebind settings? Yeah, I don't think I can do it in mission. I think I have to actually exit the save. And my Chrome is freezing up. There we go. I don't think I have the... sadly, Gil, because I'm streaming to YouTube, I can't watch that right now. Hey, Hemi. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of science on this thing. What I could do, though, is just go to the Space Center. Oh, I can go to settings right there. Does that have the settings I need? Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually have the... No, it doesn't. It does have... Cool, I can turn those engine noises down for you guys at least. Okay, we're just gonna go to the Space Center. Exit out of the save and then rebind. Before we get this going. Is tab used for anything? You can proceed to burn up on re-entry now. Thanks. Okay, cool. So we got that set up. Ah, there's my precision controls. Oh my god, that's so nice. That is so nice. I like it a lot. Okay, so... Thank you, Falcon. $72. What are you at? 28. Yeah, I think my battery should be good, but let's double check. Wish you could choose which batteries it uses first. That'd be real nice. Where are you, probe core?
And back.
Welcome back. I now have
Thank
precision
you.
controls.
Oh, do you? Awesome. What was the fix?
I just exited out of the game and went and fixed it and just rebound it.
Cool, cool.
Okay, so we need to go ahead and separate.
Oh, and with the precision control, now we could come back to what I was trying to talk about in the last video. When it's active, because is it bound on caps lock on your thing?
It's now on tab.
Okay, cool.
Toggle on tab.
So you don't have to worry about it so much because it's rather confusing because the indicator light as to whether caps lock is on your keyboard or not doesn't actually indicate as whether precision control is on.
Okay.
So it gets confusing. But what I was originally going to say is you can check whether precision control is on based on whether those indicators at the bottom left are red or are orange or light blue. You can see that they're light blue right now on pitch, roll, and yaw, which means precision control is active.
Gotcha. I have a lot more RCS fuel than I'd like. I'm not sure how to go about burning it off quickly enough. Oop, wrong way.
Yeah, turning Abzu, turning batteries on and off is probably a bit much right now. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay, I gotta stop this spin. This is ridiculous.
Oh, wrong way. Always tap, man. Slight adjustments.
Oh. I have learned.
I think you're making it worse.
I am making it worse.
On the bright side, I think you're spinning to the beat of my music, so it's kind of cool looking.
Excellent. That's what I was going for. We'll go with that one. That's a good lie. Oop, wrong way. Okay. Listen here, you little shit. You're gonna go the way I tell you to.
Oh, Christ. This is starting to get into potential disaster territory.
That could be said. I want to point out not all of this roll is mine. I'm fighting against the ship and my own ineptitude. I don't know who's winning. I think it's Kerbin.
Well, I normally don't advocate such things. It may have been a good time for a quick save while you were still in orbit, so you could
I
practice
did
this.
actually do it.
Oh, did you?
Because I wasn't sure if leaving would screw it up. Okay.
But re-entry without SAS when you're first learning it is rough.
A little bit.
Yeah, I do this myself now. I don't bother with the SAS, but it took quite a bit of practice. Oh, this is starting to look good.
My big concern is how much RCS fuel I still have.
You got tons, don't you?
Yeah,
76?
That's actually my concern.
Oh, making you top heavy, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to start spinning to burn some off, but I'm fairly certain I will just lose control.
Well, what you could do is start thrusting RCS retrograde to help slow you down.
Oop, that is not retrograde.
And burn
there
fuel.
We go. There we go. This is really intense. The explosions from my separated stage are not disconcerting at all.
Oh shit, here goes a little spin. At least where I am in the video.
Oh yeah. I remember that particular spin. It was terrible. Oop, 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 oop. Get back on course. Oh, crap. Get on course.
There goes your other stages in the background. Very nice.
Yep. The explosions from those is just so disconcerting. Oh, God. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Pull out of that. I'm fairly certain this part would have been impossible without precision control.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. It is now spinning out of control. There we go. I'd love to see Icy try to fly a helicopter. No. That sounds terrible.
Oh, noes.
Yup. Yeah, I just lost control of it. I'm going to double check the balance on my top part. And of course the game
One thing you could always do is elongate the top with an aux strutter too.
Okay. There it is. Do not download the update.
And you do not have SAS or reaction wheels, right?
I
Unlocked?
don't believe so. I'll double check.
Okay.
Take it easy, Dave. Thank you. That's a precise explosion. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. An architect, take a look at that.
Now, as I mentioned when you first started this, re-entering these goo probes is much harder than the man capsules.
That is.
And this is actually optional at this stage. You don't need to be doing this.
I'm pretty committed right now.
Fair enough. More power to you. So there were a couple of little design issues. There was like the RCS thrusters on the bottom of your second stage.
Right.
Once you ditch the fins, which will give you a little more control.
Hunter? That is an interesting phrase. Time to go get children. Did you just announce you're gonna have sex? Oh, wow. Okay, center mass. So you said elongate the top with more octagonal struts? Doesn't that
Yeah,
just
one or
raise my
two.
center mass?
It's going to raise your center mass in absolute terms, but relative to the overall length of it, it's going to lower it.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, that makes sense.
Because those things are extremely light, right?
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Now, you won't want to put too many of them because then they're going to extend past the wake of the heat shield and your parachute's going to burn off.
Yeah, I'll just go with 3 total.
Sounds reasonable. You could bump your RCS thrusters up towards the top of them too. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. So.
This is Kerbal Space Program, Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, it is a fair point that you could always do a test run with just the top portion in atmosphere to see how it falls.
Okay, we can give that a shot.
Yeah, why not?
There we go.
You always just strap a solid booster to the bottom of it or something.
I should probably be able to stage that off, though. Wow, the staging it chose for that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
How come you still have the gravioli detectors on there?
I forgot to take them off.
Fair enough.
That's what I had used that one for before, the whole polar orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the laziest naming ever. I already got that goo. I know I can't get science for it, but I feel like I have to expose the goo. Give it a little breathing room.
I'm sure the goo appreciates it.
It's looking at me judgingly. I love the goo descriptions, they're so good. Not sure if I've learned anything from what I've done here. I don't think I went up high enough.
No, it should be fine. It's all a matter of whether it goes nose down
No,
or nose up.
It went straight down, so.
It didn't flip around?
Nope.
Well, that's... The test is a success.
Excellent. Excellent. Hey, Relord?
Yeah, see how you're not steering it at all, and it's automatically auto-correcting to face the heat shield down?
That's good.
That's exactly what you want, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and... I don't even know how I put that on there like that.
And this is why you... if the thing is properly balanced, you don't even really need RCS thrusters on the top stage, because it'll just naturally orient itself like that.
Mm-hmm.
But RCS thrusters are good for emergencies, in case that doesn't quite work out.
So, oh wait, let's take off those graviolis. Looks like it flipped and you hit the parachute to stop it. Okay, so let's try that again without the parachute. Thank you guys for telling me that.
Wait, what's wrong with the parachute?
Apparently, it looked like it was going to flip before I popped the parachute.
I don't know about that.
We'll launch it one more time just to be sure. I don't want to go on that mission again. And, I just won't hit the parachute. There's no reason to bring this thing down, actually. Okay. Now we'll just wait and see. Don't fail me now, probe. I believed in you. I hope this is how rocket scientists test their rocket center of gravity. Hey guys, I think it's gonna flip. Nope, they were right. It definitely goes nose down.
Does it?
Yep.
WTF.
Okay, so we have to work on that a little bit. Oh yeah, these things are incredibly light. I don't know, I'm gonna put the RCS down lower because I'm just...
Yeah, fair enough.
By the time they burnt off, I won't need them. If I can shove any other heavy parts in here. Did that make it better or worse?
No, that will definitely make it better. But again, here your RCS thrusters are going to burn off.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. I shouldn't need them by the time they burnt off. I should no longer need them.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I don't know how this is going to affect anything.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if those are going to be protected or not.
I don't think you need to get this crazy.
I'm just curious if the heat shield's going to protect those batteries.
I could not tell you.
Well, we're going to find out. For science. There should be like a bag of rocks option, so I can just toss them on the heat, like bottom of the heat shield, just to weigh it down.
Well, for a bit of extra ballast, you might be able to turn the batteries you had previously sideways and get another 2 on top of them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So let's just see how this goes, and then we'll take that route if we need. Why do I still have the RCS tank on that stage? So I can reorient as it's coming down. Put an extra heat shield down there. Just stack a bunch of heat shields. If only. Ah, I'll just put a heat shield on the top. Doesn't matter which way it goes down.
Yeah. Parachutes might be difficult to deploy, though.
Probably a little.
I suppose you could put a decoupler. No, you couldn't.
Okay, that is not working either. It's still tilting.
Yeah, I'm giving this a big WTF.
Strap a feeding Rosie O'Donnell card on this shit. God damn it. Okay, yeah, at this point I'm not even sure.
And neither am I.
Oops.
Icy, if you spin this around to orient it the correct way, can you check if it spins again?
Yeah,
like if it fights against that?
Let me relaunch and see. I don't know if you saw in my main series the goo canister I brought home. It was the most ridiculous thing, and I think it only worked on like luck and tears. I had downward facing wings on the top, so it just corkscrewed downward.
Okay. That's interesting what Patriot is saying. You might be right there.
Stock drag models
might be a matter of the part count down towards the bottom, so those extra batteries you put on may have actually hurt rather than helped. Because because of the wonky vanilla drag model, it may be putting more drag towards the bottom, which is kind of the opposite of what you get with an arrow, where the fins at the back cause the arrow to fly straight. And the batteries may kind of be acting like fins at the front.
Gotcha.
Which is causing it to flip around. Well, just the number of parts in general, so like moving the RCS thrusters down may have actually contributed to it. And
with RCS, it looks like I can keep this stable. I'm just not sure if I'd be able to while going, like, re-entering atmosphere. Yeah, with RCS, I can keep this stable.
But what I wanted to see, okay, so stop using RCS now.
Okay.
And just see what it does. I wanted to see if it reorients in the correct direction or it flips once again.
It begins to flip. Yeah.
So yeah, it might be the wonky drag thing that's... Well, Gil, I think it'd be a matter of getting light parts up towards the top to induce more drag. So like the RCS thrusters, put them at the top, get rid of the extra batteries at the bottom, because that's causing more drag down there. Because the thing's already bottom heavy, so
Right.
That's not our issue. That may have just convinced me to switch over to FAR.
I'm gonna show you how I managed to bring this in my first one.
Because I haven't run into this myself, but I think that's likely because I tend to go for very minimalist designs to begin with, right? Because I think what happened here is when you started adding extra parts, it kind of sent it into a downward spiral. Like, it just kept making the design worse and worse for no good reason.
Right. I'm gonna show you how. Like, this is the basic design I used to bring it down the first time I brought goo back down.
Oh yeah.
It's so ridiculous, and it just
no, don't do that.
It just corkscrewed downward.
Let's try to nail this legit, so at least I can explain it to other people.
I gotcha.
As to why this thing is happening.
Yeah, I'm not planning on using this style, but just want to show it off because it was so ridiculous. It was amusing.
I think what we might be able to do is take some exceedingly light parts like thermometers.
Okay.
And I'd like to, if you could try this out just as a test, I'd much appreciate it. And put them up top, say in between those RCS thrusters, and see what that does. And if what we're kind of theorizing about here is correct, then that will miraculously solve the problem for no good reason.
Yeah, I will test it out after this comes down.
And like I said, if this works, then I think it just sold me on adapting BTSM to FAR, because that's just frigging retarded.
I feel like when you watch me, you end up with more work.
No. This is good. This needed to be taken care of. And I'm going to be putting out a new release for 0.23 soon anyway, so I could get this kind of stuff done at the same time.
Yep.
I don't know about FAR integration, but
this is how I brought it down the first time. Just wildly spinning it and corkscrewing my way down. Okay, so let's go ahead and... Hey, Manic, how's it going, man? Try this thermometer fix.
Admittedly, that is kind of cool looking.
It is cool looking, I'll give it that.
I wouldn't mind a screensaver of that.
So how crazy should I go with thermometers? Would you...
Just try 4 in between the RCS thrusters. Cool. So they'll be right at the top. And if it does work, like at one level it reduces me to tears. Can you just check the weight of the thermometers?
0.025, I believe. I'll double check them again once I...
that sounds heavy. 0.025. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll double check them again once I get back into the making part.
Well, no, Gil, this is entirely silly, which is, I just want to kind of establish if it's actually working that way, and if it's the case, then, like I was saying, I think it solidifies whether I'll be switching BTSM over to FAR or not, because it's just utterly retarded.
The reason I'm not time warping is I'm in atmosphere, and it just makes things go wonky from what I've been told.
Yeah, don't start time warping. It'll kind of invalidate the test.
Yeah. I seem to still be flipping.
Oy vey.
Okay, let's just flip it around once with RCS and see if it continues to flip.
Yeah, see what happens.
Nah, it's continuing to flip. Yep, it's going nose first.
You want to try one more, just going crazy on the thermometers?
Sure.
And
I'm good at going crazy on them.
And call it quits after that. Just make sure it doesn't like shift your center of mass upwards.
Right.
There's so many of them that does that.
Yeah, they're probably 0.25.
And what's the drag on them? Does it say?
The drag is 0.2.
Okay, so that's the same as every other part, which is what I wanted to verify. Or pretty much every other part.
Oh, I gotta take this off to see the real center mass.
Although, oh wait, it might be relative to mass. Son of a bitch. I remember hearing that the vanilla aerodynamic model was relative to mass. So that means that drag is probably being multiplied by the weight, which makes them less effective in this role.
Ah.
Arr. are...
I think... I mean, my center mass is still where it... So that should still point down.
Yeah, try this out, but I'm not as hopeful about it for the reasons I mentioned.
Gotcha.
Oh, what a mess. No, making the top wider won't really help because that's not how the vanilla aerodynamics work. that would make sense if they were a little more reasonable.
Reading from the wiki, it's mass weighted average of the max drag values. In other words, what you just guessed. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So because these are lightweight parts, they're not applying as much drag as those heavy parts down at the bottom, which is nonsensical, but this is like a whole series of nonsensical things going on.
I'm glad it's not just me having issues with this.
No, this is
because I did a lot of off-camera work trying to make a probe core that would come
I think
back.
this just didn't affect me in the past because of like my own particular style of design, you know, so I didn't run into it. But yeah, it's kind of all starting to click for me now, and as to how utterly ridiculous this is getting.
It's flipping, but much slower than it flipped before.
Yeah. So this is having an effect, and honestly, I think I've confirmed for myself this is what's happening right now.
Gotcha.
Christ. Might be a good idea to move on to another mission type until the next release.
Yep.
Because I can't even recommend how to solve this in a reasonable manner, and it's just kind of getting crazier and crazier as we attempt to fix it.
Yeah, I hear you. I think I'm actually going to be ending the stream here. I have some things I have to get done around the house.
Oh, very cool. That's perfect then.
Poor real life.
So I will get to work on correcting all this nonsense. All right, man. Well, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining us again.
Yes, sir.
It's greatly enjoyable. You too, man. And thank you guys all for coming out. It was great. If you missed any of the stream, in probably about 30 to 45 minutes, you can jump on my YouTube and the whole VOD will be there. But I'm going to be doing a Cook Serve Delicious stream sometime tomorrow. I don't know when. Just check out my Twitter to know when. I'll post there as soon as I can. I'm going to try to do one later tonight. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. But yeah, take it easy, everybody. Oh, I'm still live on YouTube. Take it easy.